Yap guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. A lot of average players face a big challenge against tough opponents, especially mind-reading opponents. So today, we have 4 tricks I personally use against opponents who over-anticipate my attacking moves. Without wasting time, drop that like button, and we start. Visit u7buy.com and get some cheap, safe, and reliable FC coins, and get yourself Team of the Year the 97 overpowered Erling Haaland. Use the discount code DRFC for 6% off, link in the description. One of the most powerful techniques to break tough opponents is to implement one-touch passing in your gameplay. It's very, very effective because a lot of times it's not expected, and that makes it unpredictable. Changing your passing rhythm is so beneficial, especially in and around the opponent's box. Some average opponents make this mistake of always pass and receive every time. This makes your game so unpredictable and also giving time to the opponent to react. Like this quick example. Here I pass the ball to this player around the opponent's box, and my intention is to pass to this player. And after I pass to one of these 2 strikers, turn and perform any boosty skill move and create something. But the main mistake, I controlled the ball first, and then I tried to pass to my striker, but the opponent intercepted the pass. But imagine if I just played one touch and turn, perform any skill move and get in behind. The opponent would have got no time to react. To be successful with your one-touch passing style, you have to plan how you're gonna pass like 2 to 3 pass moves ahead. This will stimulate your creativity senses in a way that you react very fast to every action. Being steps ahead of your opponent hints a big advantage on a mental state. Not only that, but it also tests the opponent's composure in defense actions, and most especially the player switching players quickly and also accurately at the same time. It's so difficult. So here I play some quick passing around the box and ending up scoring this beautiful goal. Let's break it down and see how I did it and how it affected the opponent. Here I win the ball in the opponent's box. I have these 3 passing options. These tricks works best against proactive defender. As you see, he is anticipating this pass to this player. By the moment I control the ball, he will be in a right place and time to tackle the ball away. But my mind am playing a scenario ahead, whereby I pass the ball to this player, pass it to this midfielder, then to this midfielder, and shift the game direction all the way to this striker, turn and score. I'm not saying that I always succeed with my plans. It depends on the opponent reaction and mostly especially his composure. So here I pass to this player and I play a one-touch to my midfielder. As you see, the opponent anticipates well, but I'm steps ahead of him, and he didn't tackle the ball. Still, I play one touch to this player because I don't want the opponent to react and close up these spaces. He switches to his midfielder, trying to cut this pass and also apply pressure. But as you see, I'm already using this space to open this passing lane to my striker. It looks simple because I used a one-touch pass to get the ball in a right position at a right time, whereby the opponent is steps behind this scenario. I turn and pass to my striker, turn into the space. The opponent can't do anything to stop this goal, maybe moving his goalkeeper, but he didn't, and I score. Another way to be unpredictable is to expect and surprise. How? You expect the opponent to perform a certain defensive action like cutting passing lane. Then if he does so, you instead dribble and beat his anticipation. This trick works best against proactive opponents who tend to overread the basic attacking moves. Here we have 3 ways to use this concept and counter that strategy of anticipating. Number 1 is passing the ball. If the opponent expects you to just dribble or control the ball, not a lot of opponents will expect you to dribble. Just those average players who tend to always press that player with the ball. But here we are dealing with smart opponents who anticipates a lot, and they will expect you to control the ball sometimes. But we have looked at this concept on the one-touch passes, and now you understand the power of one-touch pass and how to use it effectively. Next is when the opponent expects you to pass the ball. This is the common expectation, because to move forward quicker you have to pass the ball. Not only moving forward, but also getting into better positions to create opportunities like shooting angles and skill move zones. Players who anticipate a lot will most of the times cut passing lanes. You have to always expect that and surprise the opponent and instead dribble. But it's not just dribbling. Here is a twist in 3 ways. 1. You can dribble, but instead with any boosty trick. The trick that can boost the player's speed and leave that defender behind, for example, stepovers. So when the opponent sees that pass and you know he's good at anticipating, you ignore that pass and instead dribble using that boosty skill move. 2. You can still pass to that very player the opponent is blocking. When you have that passing option and the opponent blocks that passing lane, you pretend like you're dribbling instead. The opponent will be tricked that now he has closed the passing lane and you're not forcing that pass but instead dribbling. Then that's the moment you react very fast and pass to that very player. I like to use this trick most especially around the box, when creating chances, and it works effectively against opponents who over-anticipate. Third is Division 2 passing options at the same time. Here you know very well the opponent will always block your passing lanes, but remember it's very difficult to close up two passing lanes of different angles at the same time. So if the opponent cuts one passing lane, you immediately take the other and gain the advantage. But here's a twist. These two passing options, there's that dangerous one you need. In defending concepts, we have that vision concept, where the direction your opponent faces, that's where he's mostly like to go or pass to. So here you face your ball holder in the direction of that second pass, which is less dangerous. And your opponent will read that and try to cut that passing lane. Then that's when you immediately pass to this effective option and create something. Take a look at these quick examples. I have this free open player. By the way, we shall have a video about reading the opponent's tendencies and learn how to understand the opponent's weaknesses and strengths, and tricks you can use to counter them. So here the opponent's weakness is over-anticipating, but also the strength is the ability to react quick enough. As you see, he's cutting this passing lane and I'm expecting that. That's why I didn't rush that pass. Now I know he will shift his focus away from that player because I'm not passing to him. And that's when I pass to him, control the ball and score. Second example, I pass to my player around the opponent's box. Here I have these two options, this striker and this running player in behind. And according to how I have played against this opponent, he's good at anticipating, and now I know his capabilities, he have to cut this passing lane. So I didn't rush the pass, because I know he will cut that pass, and then press my player. So I delay a little bit. As you see, he's very good, cut pass and immediately apply pressure. So I beat his anticipation with simple dribbling to delay, and pass to my striker, turn and shoot to the far post and score. Last example, I pass to my midfielder. So now I have two passing options available. Here the most rewarding pass is to this striker, because I will just turn and shoot. So I face my midfielder towards this less rewarding pass, and the opponent is dealing with that pass. So I use the driven pass to get the ball to this player quickly, because this second man press will block it. I pass to my striker, control the ball into the space and score. Another way to beat the opponent's anticipation is to change the direction of the game. Naturally, we tend to follow the game direction in the way we attack, like passing the ball from one side of the pitch to another side, or passing 2 to 3 passes in the same direction. It's so effective since defenders in FC24 overload on the ball side, so you pass and to change side, opening up spaces to exploit. But even though it's very effective to open spaces, but it's very predictable, especially against highly experienced players who will anticipate that and defend your attack easily. And that's when you implement the change of direction concept. So instead of following the natural way of playing the game and follow the game direction, you turn to the opposite direction and change the game direction. It's so effective. We can change the direction of the game by just dribbling and turn to the opposite direction, as simple as that. If you can dribble protecting the ball, you can even just pass the ball to the opposite direction, as simple as that. Not only moving forward, but also passing the ball back is also effective. And lastly, and the most effective and quickest way to change the game direction is the first touch. Controlling the ball to the opposite direction is the simplest way. So the main aim of changing the game direction is to ruin the opponent's anticipation. And this opens up some good options because the opponent will delay a little bit after that misanticipation. Let's have two quick examples. Here I concede this goal due to changing of game direction concept. The opponent cuts back and pass to his midfielder. He uses one touch pass to another midfielder because he's switching sides. In switching sides using ground pass, you follow the game direction concept. And to switch sides effectively on ground, you have to make it quick. If you always follow our videos, you know this very well, and that's why the opponent used this one touch. So now the game direction is shifting to this direction, and I know this player is the next pass of that concept. I delayed in the player switching because of overcrowded defenders in the switching line, but I managed to switch to this center back before this player receives the ball. Now in my mind, I'm also defending this attack following the game direction since it has been the flow of the attack. So I rush to block the opponent's way to this space and at the same time applying pressure. But the opponent surprised me with the change of game direction, control the ball to the opposite direction and beat my anticipation and score. Last example against the same opponent, but this time I scored. So here I have this passing option to my striker. I know the opponent is good, so we first cut that pass. Then he immediately attempt to press this ball holder. I expected that, and I used the controlled sprint and beat this defender and pass to my striker Mbappe. Here I performed the La Croqueta pass to my midfielder, take a touch away from the pressure, and pass to my winger. So here the game direction is flowing to this direction, and I expect the opponent to try and defend that because he defends proactively. As expected, I control the ball to the opposite direction, beat the opponent's anticipation, and shoot to score. But sometimes if you have space, you should follow the game direction even if the opponent is good. You only change the game direction if you have a feeling that the opponent is reacting quick enough, meaning he's defending the right purpose in a right time and position. Then that's when you change the game direction, but it all comes from experience. So practice and try it by yourself. Last way to play unpredictable is to fake directions. This is very simple to understand, just dribbling and pretend like you're fully turning to a certain direction, but you make it halfway and turn back to the previous direction. And you guessed it right, works against opponent who over-anticipate. By the way, this fake dribbles works well when changing the direction of the game, so make sure you improve your left analog dribbling. Another way to fake direction is the way you control the ball. Still the same procedure, pretend like you're controlling the ball into any direction, then immediately turn back to the opposite direction. But this works most especially against average players who tend to overreact to any action the opponent attempts, so we shall not put it into consideration. Let's have one example. So here I'm controlling the ball with my midfielder at the edge of the box. I pass to other midfielder and make a one-touch pass to my striker. As you see, the opponent over-anticipates. So here I perform a simple skill move just to draw the opponent's defender closer. I have this space, but I have a feeling that if I just dribble forward, the opponent can press and tackle my striker. But I remember his weakness, over-anticipation. I fake like I'm dribbling to this direction, meaning that I'm considering the options on this side. As expected, the opponent reacts to that. I use the controlled sprint to drive inside and shoot far post and score. So that's it, guys. Drop that like button, and we see each other in the next video. Take care.